Hoka hey, Alita Army. Welcome to the Alita live stream of February the 9th, 2024, Mars Chronicles Volume 2, Girls, where we discuss all things to do with the movie Alita Battle Angel, the source manga Gundam, and the greatly desired sequels. I am your host, the Muskogee Creek, and before we get into the introduction of our guests here, I just want folks to know that we have Rosa's Queen Studios bust. I think it was bought by the Alita Army probably 3 years ago, even before I was in the Alita Army. But anyway, I ended up with it, and it's in my house right now, and we want to present this to Rosa as soon as we can. Now, Lee, I got the I got the slide up right this time. So how's it going down there in Fountain?
Oh, not too bad. It was snowing a little earlier, but warmed up.
Yeah, we're supposed to get some snow here. Well, maybe snowing right now, as a matter of fact. Yeah, I think it might be. So I can't tell. I'm down in my basement where my gym is, so I really can't tell. And I guess Matu is going to be with us. She's going to be a little late, I think. She had to go to an event. And, of course, Channel's always late. And I think Angelus may be working, but I'm not sure about that. So we'll see anyway. Yeah, Lee, I read probably 2/3, of chapter 22.
Oh,
and,
yeah, I'm in the middle of rewriting the ending of that. So.
Good. Then I'll see it when it gets rewritten. Anyway, boy, that was pretty brutal what Alita did to Finra.
Yep.
Yeah, that was
like I said, she wasn't going to let him get away with it.
Nope. And he didn't. Like a classical villain, though, he was telling her what he was going to do to Jason and all that stuff. And she said, the only thing you're going to be doing is donating parts for his recovery or something. Yeah, I thought that was kind of comical. And then, of course, punched him through the chest with that plasma enveloped in her hand, and then cutting his head off.
Yep.
Holy crap. That's our girl. So anyway,
well, he went after her family, so yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I could tell when they got back. When I was reading through it, I said, "Oh, I could tell just by what you had written down about her. She was pissed."
Yep. Well, I kind of figured she'd be a little upset.
And those two boys that got a crush on her, I guess, wanted to go help her find him, and she tells them no.
Well, I tried to sort of convey that she sees them as sort of grandstanding hot doggers. She really didn't want to deal with their crap while she's trying to hunt down the guy who just attacked her family.
Yeah, that's right. That's the impression I got from it too. That just
well, I was also trying to put a little bit of a sort of a condescending spin on the way the one brother was talking to her. Sort of like I've tried to. I don't think I really succeeded very well, but basically, it's like we're going to help out the cute little girl that we have a crush on, sort of thing. It's like, no, this guy just nearly killed one of my friends, broke into my house and attacked my family. I don't need you grandstanding. I need to find him and take him down.
Yeah, exactly. And she wasn't going to put up with any shit either.
Nope.
So yeah, they were smart not to get in her face about that. And from down under, down there near Sydney, Australia, north of Sydney, Australia, is Maxie. How's it going, Maxie?
Hey, Max. G'day, mate.
Hoka hey, mate.
Yeah,
that sounds like an Aussie.
Crikey, hoka hey, mate. Yeah.
When I do make it over to Aussie land, I'm going to spring that hoka hey on some of them in the bar and see what they think.
Well, say,
yeah, they're probably okay, funny.
Yeah. So anyway, Maxie, you missed this. I'll go ahead and put it back up. We always, at the beginning of this stream, we always say, we got Rosa's bust. We want it to give it to her, So anyway, we do that every time because I'm hoping somebody will relay the message to her, somehow. So, and it looks like some folks are glad you're here, Maxie. So that's cool. So how are things down under?
Well, that could be a little bit better. Our streak of how long would it be? 4 years and 3 months of no COVID in the house has come to an end yesterday.
Oh,
the
crap.
Wife tested positive, so.
Oh, crap.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Bit of a bummer, really. It's the first time I've ever seen a positive rat test. So.
Yeah. Is she really, really sick, or does she have maybe the Omicron variant, or what she got?
I'm hoping it's Omicron, but she's sneezing and sniffling and going on, and she's isolated in the master bedroom. So,
yeah, hopefully she doesn't have the severe strain.
I tested myself and was negative for a rat test, but
yeah,
who knows what will happen.
Yeah, I know that stuff's bad. I know I don't want to get that shit. I've had 7 I've had 7 vaccinations against that crap. I don't want it, so yeah, it'd be pretty bad.
Well, she had a vaccination just a couple of months ago, so.
Oh, well, maybe it won't be too bad for them, because when you get vaccinated, I don't want to get into this because there's some political things that could happen here as well, but the thing of it is, when you get vaccinated like that, it doesn't mean you're not going to catch it. But hopefully what it does mean is if you do catch it, it won't be as severe, because your antibodies are prepared to take it on, So anyway, hopefully that's going to happen here, Maxie.
Yeah, that's certainly my hope. But
yeah, well,
we did pretty well. I mean, she's been traveling to and from Sydney on the train 5 days a week.
Oh, that's where she got it, I bet.
Also, yeah, well, maybe there, maybe she went to have a what are they called? Ultrasound scan. In preparation to go see a specialist, and that was a couple of days ago. So I'm thinking maybe that's where it came from.
Yeah, maybe it could be. Well, tell your missus that the Elite Army wishes her well, wants her to get well.
I will let her know.
Yeah. Just to remind everybody, we want you to sign the Alita sequel petition. As you can see, we got over 178,000, and I think we added about 7 this past week. I am not sure of that number, absolutely sure, but it keeps plugging along every week. So if you have not signed this, anybody here on this stream, of course, has probably already signed it. But you future people, if you're watching this and you haven't signed the petition, then the link is down in the description below the screen here. Click on that. It'll take you to the website. You sign it. You don't have to pay any money or anything like that. You just put your electronic thumbprint or whatever, signature on it, and it records it as another signature. And this is our way of letting Disney know that we want those sequels, damn it. That's kind of what we're doing there. And also, we got the Hero Arm campaign going on, and I think we added about $50 to that over the past week or so, I think. I'm not sure exactly. We got about, in the bank, we got about $4,150 American. So, it's slow but sure getting there, and we don't need 17,700 for a Hero Arm. I mean, they're like 13,000, but we did allocate some of that for the airplane that that we flew around Disney headquarters last year. So, but now every dime that goes in there goes to the Hero Arm. So, and that is down in the description below. But if you find this website a little intimidating, some folks might, then there's also a tip jar down there that you can click on. It's really user friendly. You just click on it. It gives you options of what you want to donate, and you click on it and you're done. So no amount's too small. And if you see this in a tweet, then certainly, or as they say on X, a post, then just repost it. Yeah, you'll have done your part if you can't donate. And here next week, we are going to let Disney know that we want that sequel. And right now, this video that I put out for this thing has got well over 1,000 views on it. I don't know exactly how many. I think this morning it was about a little, maybe a little over 1,000, I guess, you know, something like that. So, and we got 4 or 5 more days on it. So hopefully more people will see it. But I think enough people know to you know, do this tweet. And of course, I got down in the description below, I believe I've also got the post that you might want to put in on Instagram. The thing about Instagram, though, is if you do a post on that, you got to add a picture to it. So just get one of your pictures of Alita and then just post it, you know, and then, you know, put whatever you can copy and paste right out of whatever's in the description. And I think you can do this on Facebook. There's a kind of a text you can copy in Facebook for that. And of course, on X or Twitter, you know, certainly there's a post there. And, you know, you want to make sure on X that you only have one hashtag, because if you have more than one hashtag, it's probably not going to trend, and we want it to trend. Now, you can put Disney, James Cameron, and so forth. That doesn't affect the trending. But what it does is it lets, certainly Disney's going to get it in their inbox, but it also James Cameron, John Landau, and Robert Rodriguez are going to know, you know, that we are doing this. In terms of the number of tweets that we're hoping we get, we might piss them off a little bit, but they probably have social media folks that are, you know, kind of running their accounts for them, and they, you know, they probably just would be told, hey, we got 10,000 tweets, you know, for an Alita sequel. You know, in addition to this, I guess next month we're going to fly another banner around, not Disney headquarters, but around where they have the Oscars. That is in Century City, I think, down in Los Angeles. I believe that's where it is. Anyway, I've already submitted the paperwork, the email to the Aerial Sky Ventures to fly around what date and time and that kind of stuff. And we want to do it just before sunset, just so people will see it, you know, that are coming to the Oscars. You know, they'll see it flying around. That's what we want. Plus, we got a videographer, and you know, he'll be taking pictures of this video, and of course, Charlie's going to be our boots on the ground, Charlie Smith, and we are going to be geared up for this one, I think. So, you know, we're going to keep reminding people that we want those sequels. So, any thoughts, guys?
Yeah, nothing here.
Cool. All right, so I guess we can just go ahead and get to Mars Chronicles. And Maxie, you're the expert at this, so just give me tips as we go along, because this is only the second time I've ever done a reading like this on the stream. You know, Maxie's an old hand at it, and he loves it. So
you only get better by doing, Creaky.
That's exactly right. That's exactly right. Yeah, we were all horrible when we started streaming, weren't we?
Yes, we were.
Yeah, we were pretty bad.
The proof is there on YouTube forever. So
you betcha, it sure is. So anyway, and Lee and Maxie, keep an eye out for me, because I'm gonna be over on the other tab, because probably Channel and Matu are coming on, and they're both going to be late, I think. And I think Angelus is working, so I don't know if he's going to be here or not. But just alert me when one of them are, you know, they'll probably put something in the private chat, and I'll jump back over and you know, add them. So here we are, Chapter 2, Girls, and you can see they're outside the. I think this is the girls' school, I think, the orphanage, I believe is what it is. And of course, I can't remember this girl's name, but she's a little twerp. But anyway, she kind of...
Is that Nina?
Yeah, that's right. That's who it is. And she was kind of mean to Yoko, which is, of course, our girl Alita is a little girl. And of course, Erica doesn't like her. You know, so anyway, she says, I'm sorry about all that, you know, what I said yesterday and all that good stuff. You know, I'm, you know, she's going to apologize to him and say, I want to invite you to my secret palace today, you know. And then, of course, Erica says, you know, has a, you know, like that, you know, like, you twerp or something like that. And then, of course, Yoko or Alita says, what kind of trap is this you planned for us this time? You know, and she said, oh, I just want to make it up to you two. I have gummies and chocolate there. And then, of course, that gummies and chocolate. Oh, that's another thing I guess Alita likes, right? She likes, we know oranges. We know she likes chocolate. Now we know she likes gummies, I guess. So
well, I think in the manga, she generally just likes food in general.
Yeah, I think so, you know. It's a good thing to like food.
Oh, yeah.
And then of course, the girl says, kids are so easy, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And so anyway, there's that, and that was just kind of the intro. And then here's the first thing. And she says, sorry about my heater over there. You probably heard it activate. And they're coming up here, this thing, it says gas und Strom. Strom is German for electricity. So I don't know, they're selling electricity there, I guess. So, but she says, I'll show you around Mammy Anna along the way. And there's nothing to show off here, you know. So I guess there's not a whole lot to this little town. You know, it's probably, you can see overhead, you know, that's the dome on Mars. So
it's one of many segments of the dome on Mars.
Yes, indeed it is. So, excuse me. So anyway, she's showing them around, you know. Yoko says, oh, what a pretty pond, you know. And she says, this is a pond of tears. It's very deep. You can't go in without the director's permission. And she said the pond was formed by the fallen tears of the nth arc, whatever that is. It's a what arc? An arc or something is what Alita says, you know. And she said, really? You don't know the story of the 9 kings of Jinn of Mars? I'll read the book to you later then, you know. So anyway, she's, you know, it's a little suspicious. This girl is kind of acting, to me, you know, she was so kind of mean to him to begin with, yet in the first chapter, and now she's acting sweet and all that. And it's kind of like, I'd watch my wallet if I were you type thing, you know.
Classic narcissist behavior.
Yeah, exactly. And of course, she goes on to tell them this is a power station and they sell methane electricity here. And, you know, just generally, you know, walking around. And then, of course, Alita spots a dog, and we know Alita loves dogs. And, of course, they grab her and say, not so fast, you know. And she said, Piers and his dog, Garn, are infamous for hating children. If you step on his properties, he'll sick his hound on you. And, of course, the dog goes snake shit. You know, he starts barking and going crazy, you know. So, anyway, they kind of walk off, and Alita doesn't get to pet the dog, I guess. And then she says, this is the Camel House, the only pub in town. Kids don't need to go there. Of course, if, you know, I'm sure that they don't have an 18-year-old rule on Mars, but in the 23rd century, 22nd century, 23rd century. Well, I guess it is 20. What would it be, Maxie, in the manga? I guess, because remember, Alita in the manga is only 200 years old, isn't she?
Yeah.
So I guess it would be, now I can't remember, but in the manga, are they in the 25th century or the 24th century or 26th century? I can't remember which one they're in. They're in the future, I know that. So because I know the movie says, you know, 300 years after the fall or something like that, which was 2263. Yeah. So I don't know, maybe it is the 25th century into the 26th century, or here it'd be the 20. Yeah, go ahead.
They have a completely different timeline. Kishiro came up with one that was post the first.
I think it was post Sputnik. I think it was based on the Sputnik launch.
0 is 1957. So you do ES 1957 plus the ES number is the year.
Yeah, that's right.
The first one was how many years since Koyomi was born.
Yeah.
But they changed
ES
order.
Yeah, I guess ES 0 is the Sputnik, right? That was 57.
Yeah, 1957.
I remember that. That doesn't surprise you guys, does it? Oh, by the way, welcome Chaos.
No problem. Well, thank you very much.
Yeah, I watched your well, you saw I gave you a shout out there, but I watched your I guess your showcase. And appreciate the shout outs. Yeah,
no problem.
It was cool. Yeah. So anyway, he says you know, this girl, what's her name again, Maxie? I can't remember her name. That
Ninon.
The girl that's Ninon, that's right. She says, you know, the girls don't need to go, or kids don't need to go to this pub, I guess is what it is. But Mrs. Marga is very nice. Sometimes she'll share pie with you. Of course, that's a good way to get kids on board, is to give them sweets. And then, of course, they're walking along, and then they're talking to various people there. Mr. Jovan, Mr. Kiefer. I guess
so
Mr. Kiefer.
According to the wiki fandom, Yoko was born in 2326, which is 370 ES.
Yes. Yeah. So anyway, well, how do you like that? Well, now we know how old our girl is, don't we? So anyway, these two guys say, "Good day, Princess Ninon." Yeah, there it is. They used to be soldiers. They were well decorated in the past. They've spent their days going on walks. Of course, the one guy's in that looks like a wheelchair that actually walks, doesn't have wheels, obviously. And she says, Erica says, "Everyone here is so old." And the young adults went to join the force. I guess went to join the military. I guess it'd be the military. That'd be my guess here. So where does Dr.
isn't a thing in the manga. It's only in the movie.
Ah, okay. So, but there is a military on Mars, though, I guess. So that,
Mars is split between a whole bunch of different groups that are fighting for control.
Yeah, provinces or whatever they are. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know all the names and everything. I'd have to go and look it up. But yeah, I mean, the reason why shit goes down in the next couple of chapters is because there's a military force pushing into the area that's they're trying to take over that dome or that section of the domed areas.
Yeah. So anyway, I guess Erica asks, you know, Ninon, where does Dr. Finch live? And you can see she's thinking about him right there, because that, I guess the picture behind her is the, you know, her thought of his image or whatever. And then of course Ninon says, I heard he doesn't have a home. He sleeps in his van and tours around the nearby towns. He should be back here in another 3 days or so. And we do know, those of us that are actually majored in physics for a while in college and stuff like that and took astronomy, knows that a day on Mars is not that different from a day on Earth. So I think it's 24 hours and some odd minutes, as opposed to Earth being 23 hours, 59 minutes and 50 something seconds or whatever it is, 59 point something seconds, whatever, you know. So they're pretty similar, you know. So they say 3 days there. I guess it would be what you would see in the movies, like that movie Martian, The Martian, they called them souls. So, you know, so it'd be how many rotations, I guess, that Mars does. And then, of course, I guess either Erica or Alita ask, you know, what's this big building? And I guess Ninon says, this is a Mamiana pumping station. It sends water from the north to the farms down south. So they got an irrigation thing going there on Mars. We won't get in trouble for going in. And, you know, Erica says, and Ninon says, no, it's fine. Watch your step. So, you know, you can feel at this point, you can feel that she's punking them already. I mean, that's when I read this first time, I thought, yeah, they're gonna, this girl, this Ninon girl, who's a little twerp in my opinion, is playing a trick on them, you know. So anyway. They the reason why I'm having to stop here is that my virus scanner is stopping some viruses that are trying to get onto my computer off of this website. So that's kind of weird. So anyway, anyway, they walk into this room and Ninon says, "Welcome to my secret palace." And you can see she's got some toys there. There's some girls there, and they got one girl hanging by a chain up there. You know, you figure, what the hell is that all about? You know. So anyway, and then I guess Erica says it's just a collection of junk, of course, you know, or either Ninon says that, but it can be comfortable. We're even got a heater. Please do relax, you know. And basically she says, you know, come on in, have fun, you know, be at ease, that kind of thing. And of course, this little girl there named Morla, she says, tells them where the gummies and the chocolates are. There's some hard candy, and points it over to points Erica and Alita over to where they are. And of course, Erica and Alita, you know, of course, they, as kids would, they would dive right into the candy for sure, you know. And of course, Erica notes there's only 2 chocolates, but there's a whole bunch of other goodies, you know, 5 candies, 10 gummies. And Alita says, "No, the purple gummies are mine. You know, if you eat any, I'll put a curse on you," or something like that. So I guess Ninon, or not Ninon, Morla, I guess, says, "You want to play Ouija with me?" You know. And of course, Erica says, "Why is this girl tied up and hanging from the ceiling?" I guess. And yeah. And then the little girl says, "Please, Miss Ninon, let me go." And she says, "I'm punishing Lena." And of course, one of the other girls kind of laughs at it, and, you know, it says, "Ha ha, they're going to torture her." And they start, you know, tickling her, the bottom of her foot, you know, and stuff like that. And she can't do anything about it because her hands are tied behind her back. She's hanging from the ceiling. So, you know, that would be torture. I guess it would be, you know. So, and of course, Erica says, "Let her down, you know." "Well, if you say so." And then of course, you know, "Are you okay?" And all the Erica, and this is unusual for Erica, you know, because later on in Mars Chronicles, Erica starts developing this personality of being a really psychopathic, sociopathic little shit, you know. It's what she is, I guess.
That's quite generous, Creaky.
Yeah, it is. It is actually very generous, you know. But anyway, Erica asked this little girl, you know, they said, "Are you okay?" You know, and she says, "Thanks." And then of course, Alita asked Ninon to read the story, you know, and of course, Ninon, a very long time ago, before the first human beings were ever born, you know, like this. And then of course, Erica kind of is getting second thoughts here. You know, she says that, God, like yesterday she was so cruel, but now she's being so kind and generous. You know, and she had thoughts of like, maybe she's only going to be queen for a day or something like that, or whatever, you know. And then of course, Ninon continues to read out of the book, and she says, "God created the spirits known as Jinn from the fire and smoke of Mars." So there you see the, you know, just kind of reading it like a big sister would read it, you know, to a little girl, you know. Oops. And then of course the next one, did that work right there? Yeah, I guess so. I had to flip back and forth because I got another pop-up on my screen. Anyway, you got a big picture of a spirit there, and they're, you know, coming over the mountains on Mars and stuff like that. And then it says, "One day on Mars, 9 kings arrived from Earth, riding on their, I can't pronounce that, Hanbu spacecraft," whatever that is. And it looks like an eagle, I guess. And I guess it might have been the first, you know, maybe the first spacecraft to Mars or something. Who knows? You know, it's immaterial. But anyway, this guy, and his name's Doss, I guess, is this guy on the right. He kind of bursts into to where the kids are and says, "Oops, pardon the interruption." And this one woman said, "Who are you?" You know, or actually, I guess that's not where the kids are, is it? That's in a different location. This guy Doss is looking for Alita, I guess. So I guess they kind of juxtapose positions there at the different location, you know. but this DOS character is looking for Alita, and he says, he tells him to be quiet. He don't want any trouble, and he shows this woman, this picture of Alita, and says, "Have you seen this little girl?" or something like that. And then, of course, the woman says, "What do you plan to do with her?" And then, of course, he says he's been hired by someone to track her down, and wants her to be brought in dead or alive, and this DOS, yeah, that pretty brutal guy, I guess. Although later on in the manga, not to do any spoilers, he actually protects the two of them, but that's another story, So but at this point he says, "I hate kids. So I was just going to make things simpler for myself by putting a bullet in her first, And of course, that kind of freaks him out, I guess, a little bit. And then he says, "These little brats reek of drool and milk," and I guess DOS notices that of the kids that are in that room with her, And then who is this character on the bottom, Maxie? You're the guru of manga. I don't know who, or Chaos. You've read this manga.
We went through this previously, trying to remember all their names. It's not even very well documented in the wiki.
Yeah. So anyway, he opens fire on them, I guess, and says, "Fall in," or he shoots over their heads, I guess is what he does, And he says, "This is inspection, drop down." The kids all stand up, drop their drawers, and he's testing them out. So kind of creepy here, testing out kids, their stuff. So anyway, not too cool, So anyway, the kids are crying and all that stuff. And he says, the guy says, "Hang on, they've all got dicks." So in other words, they're looking for Alita, and they figure, Alita's a girl, so they can check it out by finding a girl, and this critter that walks around. What is that guy's name? I should know his name. The guy that's walking around on all fours with the two spikes coming out of his eyes. I don't know who that sucker is, but he says, "No juvenile cyborgs here," and he laughs, And he said, "Are you sure this is the place, DOS?" And DOS said, "Hang on, I could have swore the girls were sent by the sent to the Zaziki orphanage, and the Zaziki orphanage is for boys only." So, they kind of got their bearings crossed, I guess, thinking that there might be girls in this orphanage. And so we see a shot of the town of Zazaki Town, I guess. It says "Willkommen," or in other words, "Welcome to Zazaki." And then we switch back to where the girls are, where I guess Ninon's reading to Alita, and the girls are playing with toys and eating the gummies and the chocolate and stuff like this, And I guess there's like an explosion, and they said, "What was that?" Maybe the director farted, one of them said. So, typical kid humor, I guess. And she tells one of them to go look to see what it is. And it looks like this Ninon girl is kind of like the leader of the group, So this other girl.
Okay, says, so the guy in the black armor is Guillotine?
Guillotine, okay.
Yeah.
Yes, yeah, it's been a while since
Guillotine, not guillotine. But,
okay.
It's close to guillotine.
Guillotine, okay. Yeah,
and,
close.
And the lowrider guy is Rocco.
Rocco, yeah, okay. So anyway, but one of them is playing a game, and of course the little girl that Ninon tells to go check it out, she says, "Don't you look at my cards, Gemma." So in other words, she has an idea she's going to cheat, So anyway, she goes up the stairs and looks out and sees this, where the explosion was, and see these critters flying around that look a little bit like parademons out of the Justice League, I guess. Something like that. So, and I guess they're all looking for Alita, I guess. And you see one of them flying there. And then, of course, they're flying, looking, and they're kind of starting to blast the hell out of the town, I guess. And of course, the little girl that's been sent up to look, says, "Oh no, the town's under attack by the Hirschrecken," which I'm not sure that's, my German on this one. That we were joking pre-stream about how good my German is. I don't know what that means. It might be just the name of a group, I think. Yeah, I got to get rid of the. There we go. Yeah, we're going to have to get another site to read this because these viruses keep trying to pop onto my computer off of this site. So I don't know what that's all about.
Well, I don't know about Hirschrecken, but Hirschrecken is apparently scare in German.
Okay.
So they put a H in front of it. But
yeah.
Hirschrecken is scare. So
okay. So it must be a
shock groups, basically.
Yeah, that's right. It's a terror attack, I guess. Yeah. So anyway, I guess Ninon says, "What'd you say?" And she said, "You know, the one girl's playing with a Ouija board, saying why? You know, trying to get answers, I guess." And then they said, "Now's not the time to play Ouija, Morla." You know, and this Morla says the spirits aren't going back to their realm or something. So you know, as a little girl, she probably thinks these are like ghosts that are attacking them or something like this. You know. And then this critter comes busting in somehow. "Run away, my little piglets," you know. So anyway, he's you know, wreaking havoc, I guess, you know, on the town itself. Damn it! This thing is. We're gonna have to get us another site for this.
Or maybe there's a way to you know, do a PDF conversion and then display
I don't think they let you download it. I'm looking at the. You know, looking at the stuff on the panel on the left, or else I could do it that way. But,
I could do it, but it would take me some time.
Yeah, I could do it too, you know, but it would take time. Now is not the time, of course. But yeah, I have like 3 virus scanners on my computer, so it's not going to get through, you know. But anyway, that's another story.
Right.
And then of course, this one little girl cries, "Chi-Chi and the director are dead," you know. So I guess that's these 2 guys right here that they actually ran into on the, I guess, on the road, you know. And then these guys, of course, pull out these 2 guys that they met on the road pull out these guns and start firing at these creatures that are flying above them. And then, of course, I don't know who these folks are in the lower right-hand corner down here, but it's, you know, it says, you know, "Kiefer, keep up the covering fire." And he kind of names a couple of tells them to take the right. And then these other 2 guys says, "Come after me," and you know, "Follow me," or that kind of thing. And yeah. And then, of course, a couple of the guys that are fighting them, I guess, saying, "We're the last line of defense. Those kids in the bunker need us to protect them." And of course, they kind of shoot down a couple of those flying creatures, you know. And that one little girl, you know, notices that Ninon had sent to see what was going on. You know, she says, "Oh, that old man Ivan and Kiefer, they shot down 2 of these Hirschrecken types. You know, in other words, shock troops." And you know, shot them down. So it was kind of a complete surprise, you know, because if you remember from this picture here, these guys don't look very formidable. And then all of a sudden they pull out these weapons and start blasting away at these flying creatures, you know, which is kind of interesting. And then, of course, the creatures, I guess they scared them off. They're flying away. And I guess one of the girls says the grasshoppers are just scouts. And then, of course, this Ninon says, "Don't care less. The main force will be coming soon." You know, so in other words, that was just you know, an advance, you know, kind of a squad or something like that. Yeah, and yeah, that's right. They were doing recon, I guess. And yeah, the worst shit's coming. Now the old guy here that was in the wheelchair looks like he got something in the chest, and the other guy's injured too, it looks like. And of course they're telling the people that, you know, that I guess they're in communication with, to get ready, there's another attack coming, you know, and that kind of stuff. And you know, this guy here is asking, "Where'd you other guys go? You know, Keith, Lenz and Rooney, where'd you go?" You know, and says, "Come in," over the radio, "Come in," you know, and of course they're not coming in. And then I guess there's a squad of soldiers out here, and it looks like, you know, they're running for their lives, I guess. And this one guy says, "Wait, boys, don't leave me here in the field," you know. And then somebody shoots a missile at the two old guys, and kaboom, you know, kind of, I guess, blows them to smithereens. And then, of course, here comes the remainder of the army right here, I guess. It is coming.
There's the rocket launcher on the left.
Yeah, that's right. So
that's what fired the rocket or missile. Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, the guys.
I'll spell it out. MLRS, multiple launch rocket system.
Yes. Yeah. Oh, thanks, Chaos. Yeah, that's right. So, but anyway, yeah, you could see there that one thing has that rocket launcher on one arm there, and that's one of the rockets he shot at the two old guys and blew them to smithereens. You know, so. Even though they were pretty formidable against those flying characters, they're not going to be formidable against trained military troops, you know. So here they come, you know, type thing. And that's pretty much it, guys. That's the end of the chapter right there. Any thoughts about that?
One word, brutal.
Yeah, it was pretty brutal, you know. And no, we're not going to read the second chapter like Maxie did a couple of weeks ago. So I know Maxie got hooked into reading the second part of Zerkerpan arc.
They couldn't handle it. They couldn't wait another month.
No, that's right. They could not. Yeah, and I could not. So yeah, I had to see that as well. So anyway, I think we're seeing the beginning of now at the next chapter, just to kind of give you a little bit of a, you know, heads up on it, is that, you know, Alita and Erica and even this Ninon, they kind of crawl through some areas down there in a bunker, and there's like, it's not a sewer, but it's kind of like you know, kind of like tunnels and stuff like that. And Alita she's the smallest one, and she's got to go open a door or something like that. So that's where we are right there. Not the cops, the army is after them, you know. So now we don't know who that army is at this point. You know, we don't know. Yeah, there you go, Chaos. Yeah, I got it. Yeah. So Lee, any thoughts?
Looks like a lot of people are in for a really bad day.
Yeah.
But I am kind of curious as to exactly what those two military forces are doing in that area. I mean, you got those guys looking for Alita specifically, or Yoko, if she is here.
Yeah.
It's like, are they connected to either of these two militaries, or are they just a separate mercenary force on their own little mission?
Yeah, I think both. I think there's two forces or two groups or whatever looking for Alita, I think, from what I remember correctly. So they're probably both after her, you know. So we won't see Gelda yet. You know, Gelda, I guess, is going to come up in next chapter or two or whatever, I think. So
kind of wondering why they're after her.
Yeah, it's not clear at this point why they're after her, you know. You know, in chapter 7 of the Mars Chronicles, they kind of go into Alita's origin, and it's fairly intense, I guess. I'm going to use the word intense. It's more like creepy or whatever it is.
Intense is one way to put it.
Yeah, exactly. So maybe they, you know, both these groups know, you know, something about her, and they want to get her for that reason. I don't think she has that antimatter microreactor heart, because I don't remember that being in the manga.
I don't think that's a technology they actually have in the manga.
Yeah.
Manga. So.
Yeah. So what does the Pope have to say?
What does the Pope have to say?
Yeah, about the manga, about this.
It was a bit of overkill using that missile to take out those two guys, I think.
Yeah, it definitely was an overkill when those army guys could have just come up and shot them. You know, that would have been, I guess they had to say.
Well, the thing about that scene, those guys sort of in combat armor with the backpacks on.
Yeah,
they aren't actually there. These two guys are having flashbacks to their military days.
Oh,
and it's just the two of them. There's no like squad running up shooting at them. It's just the two guys.
Mm.
They're basically having PTSD and flashbacks to when they were in the military.
So what? Okay, then I'm confused because it's been a long time since I've read this chapter. I'm confused now. What took them out? Didn't they get a missile shot at them or something? Or is that
the missile came from the main force that was from the flying guys, right? So the flying guys were the scouts, but the people who were shooting down the scouts were just the two old guys. It wasn't a squad. It looked like there was panels where there was a squad running around. That's these old guys having PTSD flashbacks to when they were younger and in the military. I
see.
It's not entirely obvious unless you really know the story, but the two old guys are all that's left of their squad.
Yeah. Badman says Google Translate says the Hirschrecken it translates to grasshoppers, but in German it actually means locust. So okay. I didn't know
they have an insectoid appearance, so that makes sense.
Yeah, it does actually, doesn't it?
And locusts are considered destructive.
So because I put it into Google Translate, and the closest it got was Erschrecken, which was to frighten.
Yeah. Well, I thought they were more like just recon. You know, they're scouting the area out, trying to maybe they're looking for clues of where Alita is. You know, and of course Dawson. What's that big character's name again, Maxie?
Rocco, I think.
Rocco. Oh, yeah, Rocco.
Rocco was
he's the guy crawling around on all fours. What about the big guy, though? The big robot-looking guy. Who was that?
Gilliton.
That's right. Yeah. Okay. So anyway, that's Chaos. Any thoughts?
Oh, he might be AFK.
Oh, he might. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, he has kids there, so maybe they want to be on the stream, and he doesn't want them on the stream. Something like that,
So apparently, the guys who are attacking are the Papagini Corps.
Oh,
no, sorry, GEI, however that's pronounced, Papagini Corps.
GELA. What, Gila? Maybe? Yeah. Yeah, Finn, now you got to read another set of manga, don't you? Or manga. So now Finn's got to read the original manga, and now he's got to read Mars Chronicles as well. And then, of course, eventually, Finn, you're going to be reading Last Order. So there you have it.
So the Papagini Corps are wiping out the entire town and blaming it on their enemies for propaganda purposes. So basically, they're just killing them to make the Wind Corps look bad.
Yeah.
Probably to drum up support for whatever it is they're going to do next after that against the enemy.
Oh, okay. That's interesting. I don't remember this. The bad man says that they're there for Ninon, who has been running her mouth about being
related to the rulers of Flammarion.
Yeah, that's right. So maybe they're after her. So maybe one group is after her, and the other, and Dawson, Gilliton, and Rocco are after Alita. So we got two different things going there. So
not according to the wiki, but certainly Ninon has some delusions of grandeur, and
I gathered that.
Gets just killed anyway.
Yeah, she's a little twerp, but certainly it's not. I don't want her to get killed, obviously. I just want her to be punished, but looks like she's going to get it anyway. So there you have it. Yes, Finn, you must read the manga. You must do the mangas.
Mars is freaking brutal.
Yes. Apogee corpse. Okay. Core, actually. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, the wind forces are disguised as apogee core. Okay. That so that's how they accomplish their propaganda. What they're doing to make the apogee core look bad, I guess. The only thing is, if they kill everybody in the town, how do you know it was them that did it? They have to leave a survivor or two, don't they?
Or they just leave, like, you know, a uniform patch or something on the ground.
Yeah, maybe some evidence that only the apogee core would have, or something like that, or at least that's what people would think. Yeah,
the people who think it's all right to just destroy a town of civilians, to further their agenda, just a pack of bastards.
Yeah, false flag event. That's right. So, Chaos, you back yet? No, I think he's still AFK. So anyway, that's pretty much it. So I guess this is probably going to be a pretty short stream, but is there any other topics, anything we want to talk about, Lee or Maxie or Chaos, if you're back?
Well, I did have an odd question for Maxie. I've been trying to find the answer to this on Google.
The answer is 5.
That is absolutely unhelpful.
When I was in university, a friend of mine, well, he was one of those people it was hard to be a friend to, but he was sort of a friend of mine. His answer for everything he couldn't answer was 5. So, just borrowing from him.
Oh, okay. But yeah, there was I was trying to find the answer to this on Google, but all I got back was article after article for pages on the benefits of sensory deprivation tanks. And my question was basically trying to find what is the effects of excessive sensory deprivation on the human mind.
Oh, it's not good.
Yeah, I gathered it wasn't good, but I was kind of curious as to what some of the specifics
for people who are, you know, like too caught up in the world, you know, like anxiety and stuff like that. Removing that overload of sensory information can help calm their minds, calm them down.
Yeah, that was some of the articles.
Yeah, but if you leave somebody without sensory input for too long, their brain starts making shit up, and it doesn't go well. Yeah, the brain's actually a sense addict. And without any sensory input for a long period, it starts to make its own shit up.
What about no sense of smell?
Yeah,
no sense of smell, no sense of touch, no sense of sight, no sense of hearing, and no sense of taste for, say, 28 days straight.
That would, well, unless the person was like trained to be mentally strong, it would just basically mess people up. There'd be vegetables afterwards.
Would their mind unravel?
Pretty much. I mean, it would vary. Individual results would vary, and I'm not recommending anybody try it. Because it's not good for you, basically. It's just like anything you do for a long period, which your body is not meant to do, like, you know, sleep deprivation for a week and shit like that. It does trouble you.
Yeah, I was kind of figuring it would be something along the lines of howling insanity, but I just wanted to be sure.
Could be. I mean, like I said, different people would react different ways. Yeah. Some people would go catatonic.
Well, what little I did gather was like a lot of hallucinations, that kind of thing.
Yeah. Yes, hallucinations are a big one. Basically, the brain is so starved for data that it makes shit up.
Okay.
And then you start, you know, like you start believing your own bullshit, and it wouldn't go well.
Your perception of reality becomes skewed.
Yeah.
Start believing your own bullshit. Yeah, that could actually be detrimental for a lot of people.
I've known people who have been like that when they haven't been deprived sensorially, but yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, I also wanted to talk a little bit about, Lee and I kind of went off on this to some degree earlier, but Lee has got a fanfic that I am really enjoying. I've read 2/3, and luckily it's a chapter he's rewriting the end, and I haven't got there yet.
Yeah,
so.
I was hoping I was going to get it done before you started it, but if you're not to the end yet, hopefully
Yeah,
that will
I'm not.
be, okay.
But it's really good, and the mental images that this particular chapter put in my mind is pretty intense and pretty distinct. Like there's a scene where Alita, tracks down this guy that attacks the clinic, and she actually punches him in the chest, I guess, with I guess a plasma engulfed hand. And she doesn't pull his heart out, does she, Lee? I can't remember now.
No, let me. I can.
She
actually
just burns.
pull up the
Yeah, she actually
chapter.
burns him up, I think, or burns up to his chest or something, then cuts his head off. So it was pretty graphic. So yeah, and that's kudos there, Lee. That's some good writing right there.
She drives her plasma sheathed hand into his chest right through his heart, and there's a loud popping and chuffing noises as critical components of his cybercore are crushed and vaporized by the kinetic energy of her strike, as well as the destructive energy of the plasma field.
Yeah, and of course
so he's double plus ungood.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, she didn't need his cybercore, so she didn't bother keeping it intact.
Yeah, that's right. She just needs his extremities and stuff like that. So they're going to get
mainly his spine, because Jason needs a new spine.
Yeah, that's right. So,
well,
but anyway,
spineless.
Well, his organic spine got broken up pretty badly when he got slammed into a concrete floor by a full conversion cyborg.
bad man. It's not PG-13. But it's really good.
It's a bit R-rated, yeah.
Yeah, but I loved it, man. I tell you, and I could picture our girl doing it. It's, to me, the intensity or the feeling I got was the same feeling I got when I saw Alita run her Damascus blade through Vector. It was the same kind of feeling I got from it. I mean, there was a little bit of a point there where she kind of, I wouldn't say she felt sorry for him. She didn't,
There was a little bit of that sympathy she sometimes has for a enemy who has suffered badly, like she did for Makaku when she found out his past.
Yeah.
But it didn't do anything to stop her from putting him down, because he was a threat to people she cared about.
Yeah. And of course, she cuts his head off after that. And so he's not coming back.
Nope.
And this is a guy, what was particularly satisfying about this, not that I'm some violence crazed individual, but this is a guy that she kind of beat on the motorball track, and he thought, I'm going to get even with her.
Yeah, she humiliated him pretty badly.
And no, you're not going to get even with her. And one of the things that this guy says, to Alita, that they're kind of talking, and you know how Alita did, it kind of reminded me of her talking with Gurishka a little bit too in the movie. But, he tells Alita, that he's going to have to I might have to go back to the clinic and teach that meat sack, talking about Jason, not to do this to me or whatever it was, And Alita kind of looks at him, has a scowl on her face. I guess she says, no, the only thing you're going to do.
Well, she says that after she puts her hand through his chest and he's dying in front of her. Yeah, then she tells him, it's like, the only thing you'll be doing is donating the parts to fix the man you nearly killed.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. So really, really good writing. I think I highly recommend it. And after the stream, I'll put the link down in the description, and anybody can go check that out. But I highly recommend it. Don't cheat and skip ahead to chapter 22 though.
Yeah, that one's being redone anyway, so the ending is going to be the one that you read online at the moment.
And of course, Maxie's well on his way of writing chapter 11 for his. So
absolutely.
It's going to be good because it took so long.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
The long-awaited chapter 11.
That's right.
Yeah. Much like the long-awaited episode 168 of Radio Chaos.
Yeah, that what we're gonna do, Maxie, on this stream. We'll stream something that we will call it the Lost Episode 168 of Radio Chaos or something, and just have a general discussion of some sort, So, and I'll stream it to both the Radio Chaos channel and my channel. So there will be an episode 168.
It better be good, Creaky. I have high expectations.
Oh yeah, well, I don't misplace.
Maybe we did record an episode 168, but it was deleted from our memories.
Maybe
by aliens.
Well, even episode 1, I mean, granted, it was everybody didn't know what they were doing. I got a real big kick out of it, but it's good. It's enjoyable, Yeah, people should go watch it, I think, So anyway, it is what it is. So, okay, any thoughts there, Lee?
On the issue you just read through?
Well, anything, any topic on Alita, any thoughts?
Well, it's really good thing that they didn't try to put Jason's brain into a total replacement body.
Yeah, I haven't got that.
It would have taken him 28 days to adjust, which is why I was asking about sensory deprivation, because he would have been in sensory deprivation for 28 days straight.
He would have been a basket case after that.
Yeah, there wouldn't have been a Jason when he got him out of it.
He'd have had to relearn everything and all that stuff.
That's assuming there was even a mind still that could even work.
Yeah. I guess that's what solitary confinement does to prisoners too, isn't it? I mean,
yeah, they've done some studies on that. Solitary confinement is very inhumane.
Yeah.
But it's probably not as bad as total sensory deprivation.
Oh, probably not.
No, because I think you can last in solitary confinement for quite a bit longer than total sensory deprivation.
Yeah.
But neither one of them is good for you. Just one will screw you up a lot faster than the other.
Well, Maxie, is that where they have the end of the subject floating in water and they put him in a tank? God almighty.
Well, I mean, total sensory deprivation is a hard thing to do with a human body, but if you had the brain separated from the body, it would be fairly straightforward. If you have the technology to keep somebody alive without their body, then they could just turn it all off. Like you remember Sheeran's brain inside that
yes,
the box at the end of the movie. Yeah. It'd be very easy to sensorily deprive that brain.
Yeah.
I mean, it would be pretty horrific to know that there was only bits of you left and you had no way to move or do anything. I mean, it's pretty horrific that they left.
Kind of what would have happened to Jason in a total replacement body. His nervous system would not have hooked up to any of the sensory inputs, but because there's nothing required more than a blood supply to keep the brain alive, he would have stayed alive just in complete sensory deprivation. Because there's no sensory inputs.
Except that guy in chapter 21 gave Jason a hint about how he could, what am I looking for? How he could manipulate
his chi.
Yeah, that's right. Where his body would recognize the.
No, it wasn't that. It was so that he could become less. What's the word? Basically, he would become less noticeable to some people.
So he's hiding his presence.
Kind of, because the individual he runs into is well aware of just how dangerous Nova is, and decides to give Jason a little bit of help since he's in a really screwed up situation. So he gives him a sort of a little bit of a help to hopefully help keep him alive a little longer, because it's not something that's going to last forever, but it is something that's going to help him a little bit.
Yeah, and this individual knows Alita, so
yeah, they met before, sometime in the future.
Yeah, he tells Jason that Alita's a very powerful warrior. So
not that he needs that guy to tell
him
that.
Well, yeah, not like that was a requirement.
Yeah,
because you get that goes without saying.
Yeah, the individual he meets tends to stick around in an area of dimensional space there where time has no meaning.
So he is truly immortal.
I suppose he's the closest thing to it.
Yeah. Okay. Well, the Creaky's got some work to do, doesn't he? Okay, Maxie, any other Alita topics you might want to bring up?
Everybody tweet on the 14th. Is it the 14th?
Yeah, it's the 14th. Let me pull that back up so just so we can refresh everybody's minds here. Yeah, it's we want everybody to tweet, and I think I think now that I mention it, I think that video I put out of this has 10,000 views on it. So I think that we're going to get a pretty good, you never know, I mean, a lot of people aren't like us and spend the majority of their time or a good portion of it on social media. So, and now they've taken TweetDeck away from us, then of course that, that's another issue, I guess. But yeah, but anyway, on February the 4th, everybody, we want you to tweet, a tweet or do a post on Facebook or Instagram or even TikTok if you want, or Reddit, would be another place you could do it. And tag Disney, you don't necessarily have to tag James Cameron, John Landau, and Robert Rodriguez, but we do want you to tag Disney. And of course, if enough people will tag these three on the bottom, underneath there, that we want them to know that, hey, the Alita Army's still here and we want the sequel. Of course, they probably know that already, but that doesn't hurt to remind them, so. Okay, well, anyway, I guess that's it. So I guess we're going to have a pretty short stream. Did we miss anything?
Oh, I was wrong about what that purpose of that meditation was. It was to help him cope with the difficulties ahead, is what the guy tells Jason. So he doesn't actually tell him exactly what it's going to do.
Good day, mate.
Oh my God, it's an Angelus.
It's an Angelus. Yeah, Angelus or Angelus, yes.
Like
Is
wild Pokemon that hardly show up.
Oh, his headset's working. That's good.
Oh, yeah.
Flat again.
Yeah, you want that working before tomorrow, Angelus. Are you better, Angelus? Are you over your sickness?
99% there.
Okay. Okay, cool. Yeah, I sit back here and what is it with these young people getting sick, Because I think the last time I was actually sick was 1997. Something like that anyway. So
yeah, you're blessed with a strong immune system.
Yeah, well, hopefully.
He just avoids everybody.
Yeah, I guess so, yeah. So anyway, well, welcome aboard, Angelus. So
here we go.
You betcha.
You missed basically 99% of the stream.
Yeah, pretty much.
Oh, what?
What?
Oh,
what?
Yeah, it started an hour ago.
It's what now?
Did you forget the new start time?
Oh, yes. Because usually I got it.
Well, no, in his defense, Maxie, in his defense, I pulled the start time back an hour because Channel and Matu couldn't, it was hard for them to make it and they stay up late and stuff like that. So I pulled it back an hour, for them, So Angelus.
And they didn't arrive.
Yeah. And they didn't show up today. Well, Matu said she had gone to an event and she sent me a DM saying that somebody paid her for her autograph. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah, that is neat.
Yeah. And of course,
Stalker.
Yeah, that's right. So I guess we did
wish Creaky a happy birthday.
That's going to be next week when we watch
that was this week.
No, that's
oh wait, this is the manga week, and next week is the
next week is the Creaky watch party. So that's
yeah,
absolutely. So, well, I don't guess we missed anything, and of course, you see on that middle panel right there that Alita does love her Uncle Creak. So, and that's because he wants to get her a sequel. That's why, and she knows that, and she's okay with it. So, yeah. And here's our queen, Rosa. And of course, Rosa is Alita, and Alita is Rosa. That's for sure. And I want to give a shout out to Elle Lamont and Jesse Fisher, getting tongue-tied here, because they brought Screwhead to life, and we want Screwhead in the sequels, or sequel, because I don't see Screwhead past Alita 2. I mean, past the Motorball arc. Do you, Maxie? I don't. Because
it'd be shoehorning after the Motorball arc.
I think so. But I do think Screwhead could be on Alita's Motorball team. And then it's kind of like Elle said, that she's had second thoughts about this, and she goes to Alita and they make up, and as she's put it, just burn it all down. I love that. So anyway, and of course,
not to drag the stream out for too long. Like one of my, I guess, like dreaming ideas is that either when Zerkapan hits the scene, or even Den for that matter, she could at least be one of the ones, holding down the fort, so to speak, in Iron City, in its defense.
Could
like
be
when Japan goes berserk, or when like Den basically has a shot at Zalem, not caring what happens to Iron City, sort of thing. Like she could be like have a bit of a cameo, so to speak.
Yeah. Well, if the Motorball arc goes to what the manga is, Jashigan pretty much wipes out all of Alita's teammates. Pretty much. I can't remember any of them that made it through it. Maybe Adjicutty did. I can't remember. But we just read that not too long ago too, did we, Maxie? So
yeah, we did.
But anyway, so she might not survive the Motorball arc. She might. I'd be okay with it if she did, but it'd be like Maxie would say, she could come back for the Badlands arc for part of it, when Den is trying to bring down Zalem. Yeah. Maybe that happens there. So, but anyway, be that as it may, I want Screwhead to come back. The Creaky wants Screwhead back in the sequel. And of course, certainly we want Rosa in the sequel for sure, and all three of these ladies are really good at what they do. Certainly Rosa and Elle are good as actresses, and Jessie is really good as a stunt person. So, they're great at their trade, but as I say every week, it sure don't hurt that they're pretty, and they are. So anyway, then the Creek really likes them all three of them really well. Okay, Maxie, since you're here, you want to talk about this one?
Manga. Manga Saturday and Manga Sunday. Well, Friday and Saturday for you guys in the US, but Saturday and Sunday for us Aussies. But yes. We're on the new volume. It's not AOR, it's AOD, Angel of Death. So typos. But anyway.
Yeah.
Oh no, that's the wrong title, dude. You've still got the wrong title on
Jesus.
On the slide. Oops.
Oh crap. Let me go look at because I think I copied this off of it says Gundam AOD Beyond the Yellow Door, Journey 1 Judgment Day. So yes. Creek screwed this one up.
Well, it's not your fault, because that's the extra chapter we did last time because people couldn't wait. They're like, I said, that's the end of the chapter.
Yeah, that's right.
So
yeah. Okay. Well, now that we got all of that in.
I caved to the Alita army and gave them the last chapter so that they wouldn't fly over to Australia and beat me senseless.
So we're going to start the Badlands arc tomorrow. It's going to be Alita and the Yellow Door. So that is one of my favorite. Of course, I don't have a chapter in Alita, Battle Angel Alita, that I don't like, but this is one I really like a lot. She's in this room, and it's like, hey, you're gonna work for us or else type thing, so, and then of course she goes through the Yellow Door, so that's pretty cool, I think. Yeah, Angel of Death, not Angel of Redemption, that's for sure. So well, why is that image there? Well, that image is there because I like it, the creek, and the creek is running the stream. So that's why it's there. And to paraphrase Grishka, I'm only here for our girl and the Alita army. And of course, all of us are only here for our girl and the Alita army, all of us in the Alita army. So Disney, you hear that? We are not going away. We are going to be a thorn in your side till you give us that sequel, sequels, plural. So that's you may as well just buckle up, Disney. You're going to keep seeing this over and over and over. Any last thoughts, Lee?
Nope.
Maxie, any last thoughts?
Remember to tweet. Oh, sorry. Remember to post on X and various other places on the day.
Yeah, and remember to tag Disney. We definitely want to tag them. So, Angelus, any last thoughts? Are you muted, Angelus? I think you might be. His headset's working, Maxie, but he's muted.
Always the ooh.
Yeah,
Is it working?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, it's working.
Okay. Always,
all right. Well, I guess
always with the ooh.
That's exactly right. Yeah, even when she's angry like that, she's got ooh, doesn't she? That's for sure. Okay, well then on my count of three, I guess we'll do the call to action. That would be 1, 2, 3. Film those sequels, baby. And we will catch you next week on the Alita live stream, and we will catch you for another manga reading tomorrow on Radio Chaos. Bye-bye.
Bye, guys.
What's up, Alita Army? This is Hot Toys Alita, and I hope you enjoyed this week's Alita live stream. Please join my Uncle Creek, Angelus, and our other guests for next week's show. Remember, I do not stand by in the presence of evil, and film those sequels, baby. See you next time.